The library is open and I can't wait to spy on some book lives. My fellow nosies, let's see how messy this one gets. This one is called Another Constant and it's by Kennedy B. In all honesty, I really don't feel like the blurb does the book justice. I almost completely gave this one a miss and didn't actually give it a try based off of the blurb. Basically, this one is surrounding two people. There's Kinga. He's a mechanic, but he also has dealings in the streets. He sells weapons. You don't really see too much of that. You just hear about it vaguely, and it's clearly happening off page. You're definitely going to be seeing violence on page. You're going to be hearing about corrupt officials. There's no, in my opinion, extreme triggers or bad triggers. It's just going to be violence, and that's what you're going to get with a book like this. So, as I was saying, King is a mechanic. He has a double life, I guess. Doesn't really believe in love or being connected to people in that kind of way. He's the kind of person that's going to sleep with someone occasionally, move on, and not have like any kind of attachments. And then Harlem is a dog breeder and she owns a shop, like it's all surrounding dogs, and she breeds dogs and sells them. She has an issue with her car and she drops it off at Kinga's shop, and it's gone for an extended period of time. Every time she calls the shop, it wasn't ready, and then when she eventually gets her car back, not only does it still have the issue that it had when she sent the car in, but it also has a bunch of other issues, and it's because the mechanic who was working on it was not on his job, let's just say that. So she goes into the shop causing a complete ruckus, and Kinga can hear her, and at first he's annoyed because who is bringing all of this hype to his shop, but then when he goes out and he sees her, he's taken with her pretty straight away, and that's really where this whole thing starts. All of the issues that this couple face are external issues and external problems that happen because of other people in their lives. I'm going to say this because it's not really a spoiler, because you see really early on that this is the dynamic with her. But both her dad and her brother tend to dip in and out of her life when they want something, and this causes a lot of issues for her because she doesn't really have boundaries when it comes to her family. And then on the other side, Kinga also has an issue with his dad, but I would say the issue that he has with his dad is way more serious, and it has more far-reaching impact on Kinga. Straight on to what I didn't like about this book. It felt kind of short. It's not severely short, but the reason that I felt like this is because although it ended properly, because we had gone through the book with this couple, I wanted more, and I think that that's probably really a good problem for an author to have with their books, like that you want more instead of feeling like it dragged on. Secondly, Kinga at times was really off the wall with the things that he was doing, and he didn't end up on anybody's radar. At one point in the book, something happens, like there's an altercation at his shop, and I thought that at that point there would have been something planted or something that was going to lead to more of a complication, but that didn't actually happen. So I feel like maybe doing something like that would have made it a little bit more interesting. But again, it would have made it way more difficult for the author to shove all of that in. She would have definitely had to make the book longer, or she would have had to give a simple solution. So perhaps that's why she's opted out of that. The issues in the book were a little bit on the simple side, but I don't really feel like this took away from the book in any way. So it's not even really something that I didn't like. It's just, I feel like my list is so small, I need to like kind of add to it a little bit. Okay, things that I did like. I really loved Kinga and Harlem and the way that they work together. And Kinga was really, really there for Harlem, and she was also there for him in other ways. And I also liked that even though they had this guy who is quite hard, he's prone to violence, he was trying to actively change and become a better person, and he bakes. I thought that was a really nice touch to balance out the violence and to show that he was more than just his circumstances and his environment, and he was actively trying to become better, do better, make better choices. Although he does act violently throughout the book. I would say like even close to the end, he still got some violent tendencies about him. You can still see the progress that he's making and the fact that this is what he doesn't want to do, and he is turning away from that kind of life. Harlem managed to change as well. Hers was more subtle because she didn't have anything really negative about her personality that she really needed to improve, but she definitely needed to improve with things like her boundaries, making sure that her past situation didn't inform her decisions in her new situation. And so she did have smaller things to overcome, and also I feel like both of them had not poor communication, because they did communicate quite well, but at times with certain issues, it's like they both expected the other person to just know what they were thinking without talking about it properly, but they overcame that hurdle as well. So I appreciated that they had small issues that they need to overcome themselves, as well as the things that were going on outside of their control, and they always managed to come back. There was a B plot in this story surrounding Kinga's brother, who he does something near the beginning of the book. I'm not going to say it because I feel like it's kind of a spoiler. He does something in the beginning of the book and he basically ends up running from his problems. Now, we don't find out anything that he does when he's off discovering himself or anything like that, and this is a standalone, so it's not like it's one in the series, so I don't know if we'll ever get a book from his perspective or anything like that. It's neither here nor there. What I liked was the fact that he left his daughter in Kinga's care, and so Kinga had to become responsible for something other than just himself. And this is not saying that he was a selfish person, because you don't get that told to you at all in the book. You don't get that impression that he's a selfish person, but it's still a big change from going to living this single life to having the responsibility of a whole other person that is going to rely on you for a lot. And through this, you really saw how his family came together, relied on each other and supported each other so easily, and that was another nice touch. Chemistry between these guys was definitely off the wall as well. This one used side characters pretty well, and it made the story feel full, even though there weren't a lot of events or anything going on around. There was always the presence of others. You felt it through the book, and it made the world feel whole. There were a few things in here, such as something that Kinga finds out near the end of the book, and that he just acts like he doesn't want to explore it. I'm interested to know more about that, but I'm unsure if this is going to be a second one. Again, like I said, this is a standalone. However, Another Constant does have underneath it Kinga's story. Actually, in the beginning of this book, it does actually say, a few swipes or page turns later, you will encounter him, the character everyone has been dying to meet, Kinga West, cousin of 9. So that's making me think that Kennedy B actually does already have some books on the other characters. And so I think I'm gonna get to that at some point, probably not straight away, because I have like a list of books that I'll be going through, but 9 definitely is going to be having his own story, so I'm going to have no choice but to look this up and find out more about the universe that she's created. So they can be read as standalones. You can also get to know the rest of them better. So if you are inclined to pick up this book, 9's story clearly comes beforehand, but I don't think it's going to change anything personally. So let's get to what you want to hear about. So for the rating of this book, I would give this rating a 4 out of 5. And the spice, and not all of them were equally spicy, but like, let's just do it in total. I'm gonna say this is a strong ass 4. It was pretty hot. You really got to see their chemistry going from like romantic chemistry to spicy chemistry, and it really felt like these two people were really into each other. If you close your eyes and squint, you could imagine it's but that aside, I'll give both a solid 4 out of 5 for both. I actually did enjoy this book, did not think I was going to. Now we're done, on to the next.